Good morning, YouTubers, and welcome once again to the eastern wing of the Stink Bug Works. The JetStepper has taken its final form in prototype 007. Prototype number 1 was a direct copy of J. Turner's design, and it had so much area that going downwind, it ran real good. Coming upwind, it would slow way down. Prototype number 2 was homey to clown, and in fact, all the rest of the prototypes use the same basic shape. Prototype number 2, I still use this iron-on covering and found it unacceptable and was playing with component location. Prototype 3, I made a little bit taller, and then by putting some spacers in here, the hatch sat a little higher as well, so it gave me room for taller motors. Too much power. And then this one was prototype 4, and you've seen it run quite a bit, most recently with this motor that melted a speed control. This one actually ran pretty good, but it's a little underpowered, but it had this tiny little motor with a tiny gearbox I made. But not everybody has the tooling to make delicate little parts like that, so I tried to stay away from that design, although this thing's still seaworthy and I may run it from time to time. Prototypes 3, 4, and 5 I covered with silk span and water-based sanding sealer. This stuff right here, see? Sanding sealer, water base. And just for the heck of it, I decided to see if I could do a paper mache with prototype 5. Prototype 5? No, that's 5. This is prototype 6. And I wasn't altogether happy with it. It didn't seal real well. So I went back to the water-based sanding sealer, and this is the final shape of the JetStepper. Low profile, so it's going to be aerodynamic. The wind isn't going to have a whole lot of impact on it. And I tried to do the same with crosswind. I tried to keep the profile low and round it up here for aerodynamics. Down here, it's all hydrodynamics. Up here, it's aerodynamics. So I had to put a little blister in. Like I did on number 3, you could just kind of raise the hatch. You could take the hatch and put some spacers, under here so that the hatch, when it's fully down, would be, up here, and then you can sand in a curve and have room for a motor. Builder's choice. You can do anything you want. This is JetStepper. I did this side with a non-trip since it does or right turns only. So it's got a non-trip on this side and nothing, as little as nothing on this side. I still like the idea of maybe cutting off everything that isn't necessary, but you need room for batteries and such in here. I think on this one, I'm going to put my speed control across here. My battery will go in here, servo here, receiver there. And so try to get a little weight back. These things have been a little nose heavy lately, and I'm running the batteries as far aft as possible. So I'm going to pull my components down aft as well. But overall, that's the final shape. It will soon get a little fin tab back here to pull the hatch out. You notice they all have a fin tab to pull the hatch out. It's an absolute must. What I've been doing in construction is just kind of bending the hull a little bit and coming in, but I don't want to be flexing it more than necessary once everything's all installed. So there you go. That's the final shape of the JetStepper. I have a, oh, get a load of this. I have a little Castle 15 I'm going to run in here. So that'll be fun. Remember, I was running this thing on a 500 milliamp battery using this motor, and the run times were insanely long. And this time I'm actually going to use a slightly smaller propeller. I was using my 28 millimeter Octura prop, and this one I'm going to use the 26 millimeter Grotner prop. But that'll let the motor wind up a little bit more. It'll lower the amp draw, and with the bigger prop, it was right on the edge, and it was still able to flip. I'd like it that you can run this thing wide open and just skip across the lake and only have the occasional blowover. We'll see. These things have a lot of torque, and it wants to, you know, lift up lift up one side of the boat. As if you hit it too hard, you got to be use the Big B linear throttle technique. So there you go. I thought I'd fill you in on the JetStepper, where it started, where it ended, because this is the stink bug works. I'm half tempted, and very well may just paint this thing flat black. Just flat black. The stealth boat. Because it's a black project from the stink bug works. So I think that's going to be my plan. It'll be the stink bug. Anyway, boys and girls, I think I've rambled on long enough. Until next time, jet out.